Great. So I think we're live now. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to today's premises license review hearing for the Green 86, the Green London UB2 4BJ. My name is Councillor Julian Gallant and I shall be chairing the meeting today. My colleagues Councillor Fadouma Mohammed and Councillor Tariq Mahmood and I comprise today's subcommittee. Alison Luff is the legal advisor to the subcommittee. Sean O'Brien is the Democratic Services Officer, who is the clerk to the subcommittee and who will be minuting the meeting. And Isabel Robb works for Ealing Council and is observing the meeting. And could I ask, please, while we're here now, could I ask the other two parties just to introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Panchal, could you introduce yourself? And your
I'm Mr. Panchal from Personal License Courses. Coming for the license holder, representing the license holder, and Mr.
Sandeep Chopra. I'm Sandeep Chopra, and I'm the license holder.
You're the license holder. Thank you very much, sir, and Mr. Sandeep as well. Robert Deere, could you just say who you are as well, please?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, Bob Deere, Licensed Compliance and Enforcement Officer, working for Ealing Council.
Thank you very much. So in accordance with the procedure, I'm going to invite the applicant to present the application, answer any questions and call any witnesses. And then I'll invite the premises to make their representations, answer any questions and call any witnesses. There'll be questions, obviously, from councillors. There are no other parties actually attending the meeting today. At the conclusion of the hearing, the subcommittee, accompanied by the legal advisor and the committee Democratic Services Officer, will retire to consider its decision. The decision will be given at the end of the meeting and confirmed in writing forthwith. If the panel cannot reach a decision today, you will be notified in writing within 5 working days of the panel's decision. So with that, could I please invite the applicant, the licensing authority, to present their application for this review for the Green. Thank you very much, Bob Deere.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, this is an application to review an off-licence, sorry, at 86 The Green, named The Green. Formerly it was named Sapna Express, and this licence was revoked. Mr. Chopra and his partner, who are the licence holders, took over. The licence was granted to them in February 2023. This review has been brought under the Prevention of Crime Disorder objective following 2 visits to the premises. I'd like to note that the premises licence supervisor is Gurpreet Singh Kakar. The first visit was on Tuesday, the 3rd of January 2024. Officers from Training Standards and Licences, accompanied by police officers from Southall Ward, attended the premises as part of a joint partnership work to reduce alcohol-related violence and theft in the area. This premises is in the special priority area of Southall Ward. The purpose of the visit was explained, and whilst checking behind the counter, the officers noticed that on display were 3 bottles of Prosecco, 1 75cl bottle of rosé and 1 75 bottle of M&S brand champagne that appeared to have had the labels torn to remove the brand name, i.e. M&S, removed from the rear of the bottles. The stolen alcohol was signed over for instruction, and the first and final warning given to Sandeep Chopra, one of the directors of the Green Southall Limited. He was also told to display Part B of the premises licence. The second visit was on Wednesday, the 29th of February 2024. Officers from licence attended at 4:15 p.m. with Home Office Immigration Enforcement Officers after intelligence was received that the premises were employing illegal workers. The designated premises supervisor was not present. They identified themselves and explained the purpose of the visit to the shop worker stood behind the counter. He was interviewed by immigration officers and admitted that his university had curtailed his degree course, and he had been working at premises since July 2023, working 40 hours a week. The licensing officer checked the alcohol and found a bottle of red wine, which someone had ripped the security label off. There was a photograph in the papers. That is a wine from Tesco's which has a branch around the corner in King Street. The other director of the company, Suma Kaur Chopra, attended the premises and was interviewed, and she was given a copy of the licensing inspection report, highlighting then officers' observation, including that Part B was not on display again. On both visits, the owner stated that stolen alcohol had been left over by the previous owner, even though they obtained the new premises license 11 months before the first visit. I say that the premises license holders are failing to promote the crime and prevention disorder objective by employing legal workers. It allows a business to unfairly undercut other businesses by employing cheap labour. It encourages those without permission to work to seek employment. It exploits the undocumented by paying them less than the minimum wage and provides no employment or income protection. It deprives the HMRC and the government of revenue by non-payment of tax and national insurance. And by purchasing stolen goods, it puts the staff at risk where the property is stolen from, encourages people to commit crimes and take advantage of people's unfortunate addictions, and it calls antisocial behaviour. Due to those incidents and the obvious disregard for the law, I would ask that the ultimate sanction open to the committee be exercised and that the premises licence be revoked. Thank you, Chair. That is the evidence.
Thank you very much, Bob. I think we need to we'll probably have questions for you. I certainly do, but first I'll see if Mr. Panchal got any questions for you, or Mr. Singh has got any, Mr. Chopra has got any questions for you first.
Thank you very much, Chair. First and foremost question that I'd like to ask Bob is, you have received the pay slips that we've sent it to you. At no point was he employed on any, according to my client, he wasn't employed on any unpaid or over hours that he mentions. So did you receive those pay slips we sent later on to you?
Yes, they were passed to me yesterday, and I have looked at them. Thank you.
Yeah. So you agree that he was fully paid, according to the tax and revenues are concerned?
That's what those pay slips lead me to believe. Yes.
Regarding the bottles that you came into, I know initially on the 3rd of January, there were 3 bottles that you destroyed and took it away. But on 29th of February, you found only 1 bottle of red wine. Am I right in saying that?
So did you hear that, Bob? I think you've frozen. I think Bob needs to come back in again. Yeah.
Chair, sorry, I don't know if you can hear me, but
we can hear you actually. Yes, we can hear. We can hear you, right? Yeah, yeah.
Working.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I didn't hear Mr. Pancho's question. I heard the bottles of Prosecco and the wine, yes, but I missed the last part of the question. Sorry.
No, I'm talking about your second visit. In the first visit, you destroyed the bottles of Prosecco and that, but on your second visit in February 2024, there was only 1 bottle of red wine that you found. Am I right in saying that?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So no other bottles of alcohol were there, and on numerous occasions, my client did mention that he did produce so many CCTVs to the police and that since the previous owners were buying alcohol for stolen goods, my client stopped buying the alcohol from stolen goods because that is not what he was there for. And now people are stealing his products, and that's why he gave so many CCTVs to the police. Did he mention that to you?
No, not to me personally, no.
I have that one. I can just send it down. We have all recording down.
Yeah. So he said he did produce all the recordings of people now stealing from him rather than him buying the stolen good. And he did mention that to the enforcement. Did you mention it to
that day? My wife there.
Yeah.
So I'm not there, so she doesn't know about that. And I didn't. Of course, I'm not available that day, so I didn't mention anything to Mr. Dan.
Okay. Yeah, he mentioned it to the police. Sorry, Bob, he didn't mention to you.
From January to from November.
No. Sorry, we'll present.
Yeah, Mr. Pedro, as you know, yeah, I mean, if it was all those CCTVs, the police wouldn't get in touch with us about them. The area suffers greatly from shoplifting and violent assaults on security staff who try to stop them and staff members.
Yeah, and that is one of the reasons that.
So, Special, this has all been reported, I presume, to these acts have been reported. They don't form part of today's hearing, but they have been reported.
Yes,
we'll take it as they've been reported. And I'm deeply sympathetic, by the way, as we all are, for shopkeepers who suffer shoplifting. We are deeply sympathetic for that. That is another problem which we can deal with. Okay. Do you have any other questions on Mr. Deer's submission there?
No, that's all, Chairman. I haven't got anything more.
Nothing more. Well, you may have, and you can come back in. You're welcome to come back in as required.
All I have to say was that Bob's just say that he did receive the pay slips and he did receive the legal documents of the person. He was legal. He wasn't illegal. The chap was legal in the country.
And the immigration released them as well.
And the immigration has also released him.
Okay, so we've also seen the pay slips. We haven't seen any other legal documents, which would have been, I must say, very helpful had we seen that. But we've not. We've seen 3 pay slips, one of which is actually from April 2024, i.e., in the new tax year after his arrest. But we'll come on to that when you make your submission. We'll come on and ask you questions about that. I want to stick to questions for Mr. Deer for the moment, okay? But I think he's answered everything. You're happy with what you got right now. So, colleagues, Fadumo, do you have any questions for Mr. Deer at the moment?
Yeah, Chair.
Yeah,
I've got a question.
Terry, get far away, please. Yeah.
Mr. Deer, you said you've been there on 30th of January. And you warned them about that. So that warning has been received by them. Yeah.
Yes, Chair. That warning. Sorry, Chair. Councillor. Sorry. Promoting you. The warning would have been given on the receipt given for those bottles of Prosecco by the Trading Standards Officer. It's the first and final warning. And obviously any more stuff after that which was found a month later, even though it's only one bottle, there was still stolen property on that premises.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else, Turkey? You okay for the moment? Okay, I've got Bob. I have a question for you. That you actually promised that there would be photos attached to the report, and there are no photos of the bottles attached to the report. Yeah, have we missed them or? No, Chair.
My apologies if that is the case. Sorry. Obviously, the report was not done by myself. Though okay. all the papers are sent to our processing team, and the officer does it there. I can probably dig out some photos, but they are just 3 bottles of wine, Prosecco. Sorry. Yeah. And what happens is they rip the back of on the back of an M&S bottle. It has M&S, which is probably a centimetre by 6 millimeters in depth.
Okay. All right. So as we don't have the photos, I'm just going to actually ask a quick question to Mr. Chopra. Yes. Do you agree that those bottles, all the bottles mentioned, they were stolen? That was stolen alcohol. Whether at any point it was originally stolen alcohol, is that correct?
I don't have idea anything because we take the stock from the previous owner and the valuation people coming and he all valuation the stock and we take it and that's bottle inside the shelf, the behind of the bottle. So we don't have idea that one is stolen because we take the from previous owner and when Mr. Cumming we explained that one as well. Okay, like we don't know about this because we didn't buy. We take from the store this previous owner. We take from.
All right, so but are you disputing that they were stolen, or are you just accepting that they were just stock? You didn't know where they came from. You didn't know anything about where they came from.
No, because we take the all stock from previous owner.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Right. Okay. So I think if we can move on actually, unless Alison, you got anything to say at the moment, or?
No, sorry,
thank you, Chair.
Okay. Right. So I think what we'll move on. We'll hear. We'll hear from the premises actually, if that's. Oh, sorry, Terry, you have a question. Yeah.
Oh, just to quickly, just wanted to know when the hands change. When you said you got the stuff from the previous owner, but so how long was the time when the previous owners the stock was there?
I can explain that to you because I've been in this industry for 25 years. And what happens when the stock taker comes in? Normally, when the previous owner would ask, the new owner would ask, both of them would agree and bring in a stock taker. The stock taker is then allowed to take the stock, and all expired stocks, he will not take it and he will remove them out and say, these are expired stock, I'm not going to count them in, they're out. And all those stock that don't belong or will not go onto the stock, if it's stolen, then he would say, well, this is stolen, this will not go in. Otherwise, he would stock it into all of it and say, this is the final figure, and this is the figure you need to pay for the stock that you are taking over. And hence, this material came into, because I'll explain to you why I'm too much into Mr. Sandeep's favor, because stock takers normally then give it in and they pay the stock. So this has come in while it was there. And when it was destroyed and one red bottle was left over, that is the only part left over into the shelf. So there was no other stocks into the shop. There was no other wines or normal which the previous owner used to buy in a regular force. Mr. Deere must have gone in the store. There was nothing in the store. The only one red bottle was left onto the shelf when he came the second time in February. So we could see from that it was a regular incident to the previous owners. It is no longer a regular incident with the new owner. I can explain to you in my presentation why I'm saying that.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Well, I think if you're happy with that, I think we'll move on to your presentation now, Mr. Panchal. Colleagues, as long as you're happy, you've asked enough questions for the moment, yeah. But let's hear from you, Mr. Panchal. Let's hear
Yeah. First of all, let me give you a little bit of a background to Mr. Sandeep Chopra. Sandeep Chopra has had a personal license since 2014. He does understand the 4 licensing objectives. He bought a shop in 2012 in Harmondsworth Village Store, which you see the pay slips are from Harmondsworth Village Store when you look at your pay slips that are lying there. He and his wife both have run that Harmondsworth Village Store without any breaches since 2012 right up to now. And then the opportunity came in for them to buy the Green Southall. They understand at Harmondsworth Village Store that they are supposed to follow the legal laws of the Licensing Act, which they do for so many years. And when they bought the Green Southall, as I mentioned earlier about how the stock take was taken in, the stock was taken in, and as I mentioned to you earlier when Councillor Tariq asked that how the stock take is worked, so that stock take was taken. If Mr. Sandeep Chopra was buying the stock, stolen stock, then there would be plenty of stocks. Mr. Deere would have found not one, they would have found lots of it. And again, he has supplied all the videos that the people are now harassing him because he's not buying their stock. The people who are coming in to sell the stocks, Mr. Sandeep Chopra is saying, no, we don't do that. We are not allowed to do that and we don't want it. So they are now stealing it from him, right? Getting annoyed, and they are now giving him a problem. So he's now sent all those videos to the police to say, can you please look into this? I'm getting a problem from these people. So he has got those videos sent to the police. He's got the evidence.
I have the CID code as well,
and he also has got the CID code for the videos that he has presented to the police and that. So he's now getting into another side of the problem rather than getting into this problem. Now coming back to his buying the Green Southall, just to give you a financial burden that he has taken over by having this shop. He's taken a loan of £100,000 when he bought this shop, and he's paying £2,500 a month for that. He's also got a mortgage, and he's got 2 children, 11 years and 7-year-old. That depends. The family depends on that. But that's his dependency. And Chairman, the other thing is he has never paid the person that he employed. That employment was carried out at Harmondsworth Village Store. The person that was working, which Bob Deere mentions that he was illegal. The person was not illegal. The person was employed in January 8th when he came in at Harmondsworth Village Store. And at this instance, where he was at the Green Southall, he had sent him that because there was a staff shortage, and he said, "Can you please cover up the staff and go down there?" Now we are looking back at the interview in your bundle for Mr. When he was caught, and I'd like to mention that because if you look at page 20 of your bundle, in the interview, he's been asked how many hours you've been working there. And he says maybe it's from 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock, it fluctuates. Now that becomes 4 hours. And if you look at the pay slip, he's only paid for 20 hours that he works. When you look at the figure, the units, which says 6783. I've worked it out how the 6783 unit works up. So he's paid by the 20 hours only. What his status was at the college was not Mr. Sandeep's problem. It was his problem to see whether his college is working or not. But he legally employed him. He legally paid the tax and everything. So he wasn't employed as on illegal terms. He has his documents with him, which he took the documents of the person that are you legal or not. So he's complied that again. Again, we can see that his compliance is there. That is what we are trying to explain to you, that he's not trying to breach things, or he's not trying to make. So 7 to 11 makes 4 hours, and it's 5 days a week. So 5 was 20 hours. So that comes out to 20 hours if you look at that interview. And at times it breaks up. And he says, well, I've been paid in cash. Yes, he's one of his pay slips. Which pay slip was it? One of his pay slips was paid cash, because again, that was because he had not opened the bank account.
And I have account I send in Feb, middle of Feb, I have one sending on from account to £200.
Yeah, so he sent it via the account. All the pay slips were paid. Other pay slips were paid by the bank to his bank account. So he made sure he no longer works now. Since the immigration came in and found out that he wasn't working, or he wasn't going to the college or that, Mr. Sandeep Chopra immediately took action and said, sorry, I'm not going to carry on with you because you're not going to the college and you're not a clean student or something. That is when he found out, when the immigration came in. So he no longer now works for Mr. Sandeep Chopra. So Mr. Sandeep Chopra does understand how he has to manage the premises. So, Chairman, we feel that it would be very unfair at the moment at this hearing to say that the license be revoked. He is complying, he is there, and he's happy to take any questions if you at this moment before we can come to a conclusion.
Okay, so that's you're done, Mr. Panchal. Now, are you? Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much indeed. Colleagues, let's start with you. You got questions for? Yeah, Fatima, yeah.
Thank you, Chair. So I have a question for Mr. Panchal. When this new owner took over the premises from the previous owner?
It was 7th of February 2023.
2023. And the first visit was January this year, where it was found the stolen goods. Do you agree?
Yeah, the bottles that we are in January 2024, which was lying in the shop, 3 by Prosecco, 1 by Rose, and 1 by bottle of M&S brand champagne, which then the Bob Deere took it away and destroyed it, and a warning was given. And thereafter, from the January 3rd right up to 29th of February, when Mr. Bob Deere came to the shop, there was only 1 red wine bottle, which was also from the previous owners, but there wasn't any other bottles, nor was there anything found beyond that.
Okay, I just need a clarification here, Mr. Panchal. So given that it was all 11 months since it's been taken over, I need to understand the process of your stock check when a new owner takes over. What's the process?
The process is that the stock taken over from the previous owner is already in the shelf and that. And as the sales go on, Mr. Sandeep Chopra buys all his stock from cash and carry. So all his cash and carry stock would come into the place and would be in front of the shelves to cover up for people to come and buy.
Okay, Mr. Panchal, what I'm trying to ask is, any old stock taken over, because you earlier explained when it was Mr. Dees explaining the case, you said that there is a process on the stock taken over from the previous owner. So any stock taken over from previous owner, what was the process in checking them? Was there a process for the new owner? That's what I'm asking.
Yes, the process would be that he would check on if there was products which were expiring, so that could be sold quickly or replaced or whatever if they were to be expired. That's his duty, to make sure he doesn't sell any unexpired or expired goods. But when it comes to alcohol, he understands the alcohol is always
No date, no expiry date.
no expiry date is on the alcohol. So his check on the alcohol must have been missed out on the alcohol, this alcohol.
So it was missed out when it was checking the stock,
Yeah,
the
because
ones that were found in January.
yeah, but then again, he didn't dispute. He said to Bob, "Yeah, take it and destroy it. If I'm really sorry for what has happened." But then there was one red bottle, the red wine bottle that was only found. No, not 20 or not 30 bottles. That a lot of people around that area bring in stolen goods previously were regularly coming down to that shop and selling it to Sapna, who were the previous owners. Now,
Okay, I think the new owner wanted to say something. He's behind you.
Yes.
yes,
Actually, when we first time the officer visit and they explain us, this is M&S, and we found that one. So I'm explaining like Mr. Panchal explained. I don't have idea for that one, because of course the shelf, when we take over the shop, we clean the shelf and we put the bottle same like that, the previous like that. So when the officer find it 3 bottle and he explained me. So then I told my colleague, like, check all bottle again. And please check, is anything like that, give us me. They check all that. The officer, the second visit when he coming, that bottle is no Tesco, nothing else. I have proof that one if you guys want. That day, on the bottle, you can, if you have proof of that one, you can check. There's the glue. The officer say, this is a stolen bottle. Somebody take off the, what do you call the protection?
Seal.
Yeah, the seal. And this is, so that day I'm not there, and I called my colleague. I said, look, I told you last time when your officer visit, please double check anything like that. They said, we already checked. We keep the bottle, come and check. When I went the bottle, I checked the bottle. There's no Tesco, no Sainsbury, no M&M, only just the officer glue. And on the paper mention as well, there's on the glue, and they said this is stolen. And of course, I'm already give to my work instructor, anything you can find, any company like Aldi, Tesco, Sainsbury, you can remove from shop when you the first time visit the officer. And
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I have no more question. Thank you,
Well,
Chair.
you're welcome. Come back in anytime for a good question. Tariq, yes.
Yeah, just to quickly come back to your employment, and you said to me when gentleman was working in the store, he was legal, and when you said legal, it means he has right to stay in this country, or the two different thing, and he has right to work with you. So that's a two different things. So when he was working with you, he was perfectly legal. Was that correct?
yes,
that's correct. Yeah.
and when the officer catch him, that time he illegal as well. He have visa till next 6 months, but he missed the college. He never been in the college.
Okay.
That's a separate deal, but his status was, immigration-wise, his status was legal to work and live in this country while he was working behind the counter.
Yes.
Okay. So if I may, I've got a question on this subject. So when I'm referring to the interview he did with the immigration officer, and he was asked what he showed you to show that he had the right to work, and he said he showed you his BRP. Do you know what BRP is?
Yeah, it's a BRP card.
Yeah.
What is a BRP?
It's a identity card which is issued to people who come in the country, and then they're allowed to work. There is a BRP card, they call it.
Well, just to qualify that, Mr. Panchal, biometric residence permit, which I think what we're talking about.
The biometric residence card.
Yes.
So,
that is not actually does not allow you. That's not proof that you've got the right to work. He should have showed you something else. But did you take that as proof that he had that
Yes,
he had the right to work?
I have
Yeah.
photo.
Yeah, we have a photo. It's a BRP. It does
But
say
yes,
that.
but did you see anything
20
else
hours
from
now.
him? Is that all you saw from him?
No, the BRP. Sorry, Chair. The BRP states that he has a right to work in this.
20 hour.
The BRP states.
Well, I looked at the government website this morning, and it said that does not show you have the right to work. But I mean, that's another question. We'll get on to that. But what I want to know is that all he showed you, or did he show you any other documentation?
No, that is a legal document. I'm sorry about that.
Yes, I'm asking you, is that all he showed you, or is that's what he showed you? Is it?
He showed me his passport when
Yeah.
we are visiting accountant,
Yeah.
because everything doing accountant.
Yeah.
So accountant give me
Okay.
one form for fill up from him from the guy, and he said I need a biometric passport, and I give to him. He have the proof as well. Accountant, he have proof as well. So he done everything. If people not legal, accountant not doing, because my all two company he manage, accountant manage, not me, accountant doing. So first when if we any employee we represented, like this is a view our new employee, so he need from me documentation. So I give it to him, then he applied this pay slip and everything, and we start paying for him.
Okay, so the question is, referring back to the interview again, he was asked how much he's paid, and he said, I receive £5 an hour, and how are you paid? Cash in hand, right? That's what he answered, and he was given the chance to actually sign that attestation, which he did. So I'm asking you, why does he say that? Why is he saying that? And then why are you saying that he's being paid for exactly 20 hours work per week? Because I've divided down the numbers on the pay slips, and the pay slips show he's working 20 hours a week on minimum wage, which is what the pay slips show. But that's not what he stated when he spoke to the immigration officer. So why is there a disparity?
I don't know what he said to immigration people. I don't know about that one. But when he released, because after 15 days, immigration people release him, and then he come back to me, and then I told him, look, you can't work more from my shop, because he said, no, still I can work this time because my solicitor come back. And I asked him, what do you say to that one? Because already immigration officer explained me this thing. Yeah. Like he said 500 hours. He said no, and nothing. I said like that. That time I scared, and I have my statement. I can, when I'm give to interview, I explain everything, how much I get legally and how much that one. I don't know why the tell this one this time. Why the
Okay.
and
all right. So there's that question. You say that once he was arrested, he didn't come back to work. Yes, is that correct? After his arrest, you didn't take him back to work.
No, when he arrest, no, I'm in contact with his solicitor.
Yeah.
Because I owe his money as well.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't take that one with little bit money or even. I contact with his solicitor. He said no, from his side everything is fine. We can take him. So I said, what's the process? I can take off from my company straight away. I'm take off from him. He said no, wait, but I can take in 15 days, 20 days, come out. After 20 days, when he come out, I'm sit with my accountant. Accountant said, no, you have to take off from them, because me and my wife decide we don't need that. Of course, if we have this problem, we don't need. So that from that day, we take off we call the accountant. We say, please take off from his name, and he take off from him. After that, he didn't work from us.
Okay, but the question, the last payslip that I saw was dated from April 2024.
March and April, yeah, I know.
Why was that? Actually,
I explain you, I'm wait for 20 days for him, like what's happened that going. When he come out, so I told him straight away, okay, I don't need you. You can say that's end of the March. And I call my accountant, take off, and on April he take off from. I'm already I have email, proof and email, which when I send to my accountant, please take off from this down. And I have the confirmation for that one as well.
Okay, so what you're saying is that the final payslip was actually in arrears for work he'd done before, yeah? Okay, so the question is, why is he saying he was paid cash in hand when and you're saying he was paid directly into a bank account?
No, I'm paid cash in. I pay only £200. The only one time we pay 200 I have before February, middle end of February, I pay 200. We have two sales. One of the card sale, one of the cash. Like you can say, if we done £1,000 a day sale, that means 500 or 600 coming card and £400 every day coming cash. So that's we can use sometimes cash and carry. Sometimes we pay 2 wages. So I'm normally pay 2 wages for him from the cash and that one.
Okay, thank you very much. That's
We explain our accountant as well. Like, yeah, this amount we pay cash, not from card.
right. So you're saying that sometimes you paid sometimes in cash and
Yeah.
a little bit by cash, a
So the
little bit
cash
by
only
bank account.
£200 I paid from
Okay.
before the arrest.
Right. Okay. I'm just going. I've got another question, but I'd like to bring Bob now because you've probably got questions from Mr. Panchal, Mr. Chopra as well. So if you want to come in now, that'd be great.
Thank you, Chair. You, Mr. Chopper, you said that he worked 7 to 11 every day. Is that correct?
Morning.
Morning, yeah. Sorry, yeah. 7 a.m. till 11 a.m.
Normally, we work in Harmsworth. Our shop open 8 o'clock.
Right. Okay.
No, when we send him here for helping, so he's sometime coming 7 o'clock.
Okay. The day he was, he opened that shop for you on the day that the immigration came,
4 o'clock.
because he had keys on him to your shop. He had
Sorry?
keys to open your shop, the green,
Yeah.
on his person, in his pocket,
Mm-hmm.
when we, oh, not me, I haven't got power to detain him, but when he was detained by immigration, but we went there in the afternoon. So he'd obviously worked quite a few hours in that shop.
We
Is that
have
correct?
3 key. We have 3 key.
Yep.
1 key circulate always in the shop. Like sometime, like of course, on already in there. One we keep in the shop. Like if it's someone 2 shift coming, one morning, one evening. If you morning one sometime forget, so there's another key as well. So it's key in his pocket because we give to him. Like of course, it's a shift different shifted. He coming morning time and till 11 o'clock, till 10 o'clock. So of course he can swap the always he have still our have now we can do 4. One we separate put in as well. So everyone have his key.
You may have misunderstood the question, or you've
No, I'm
opened a
understanding.
can of worm, because
No. I'm understanding.
he had the keys
Yeah.
to the green. So if he was just working
Mhm.
to cover for one day, why has
No,
he got
it's
the
not
keys
one
to
day.
the green
No,
in his
it's
pocket?
One day. It's not one day. It's couple of weeks he cover because my
So,
staff is gone.
oh, right. So, right. Okay.
No,
So I
one day.
misunderstood it.
It's
And
not one.
he showed you his national insurance card, did he?
Yes,
You've got a copy of that?
yes, I have my phone, and
Okay.
I can arrange from accountant as well.
No problems. So he'd obviously worked for you between the Green and Harmondsworth for several months.
From he coming 2 week for training before 8th of January, and we start work for 8th of January for him. For
No,
now.
I'm talking about in Harmondsworth.
Yeah, 8th of January. Start work from.
But were the other pay slips not earlier than that? The
No.
other 2 pay slips you sent?
No, it's a January. From if you first January when you see that one, that's 600 paying week because he worked 3 week because he's starting one from 8th of January.
Sorry, I just.
So the January pay slip is 600
600.
because he started 1 week late.
Right. Okay. So where am I? So you said he's legally entitled to work, and he
Yes.
came back and you said, no, you're not going to come back and work here. Did you not check with his university?
No, because actually that's not my. Sorry for that. That's not my responsibility.
Okay.
I'm checking still. I check national insurance, PRP card, passport valid, and how long you valid. We can give to accountant. If you have accountant proof, yeah, that's fine. Then we can.
I think Bob, the attendance for the college is not the matter for the employer, as long as they employ them for 20 hours. Whether they go to the college or not, that's
Okay.
immaterial.
But you knew he was studying at university somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, student. He's a student on the based on the student visa.
Okay. And he's only allowed to work 20 hours a week, apart from term time, or non-term time, sorry, which you obviously know. And you mentioned that he says he only worked, or Mr. Panchal said in his statement in the interview, he stated he worked 4 hours a week, 4 hours a day, times 5, which is 20 hours. That's correct, isn't it?
That's
Well, can I just, that's half the statement, the statement the immigration officer made. If you look at page 3 of the 5, it quite clearly, he knows the game's up, and that's when he says he's worked with you, and I thought he meant in the green, maybe he meant Harmondsworth, since July 2023.
I am coming on November DPS for this lessons, because before I give to Mr. Kakkar, if you see the lessons, before that the shop is under Mr. Kakkar.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So I'm coming in November, maybe I can check that, double check. I'm coming from November in this shop because Kakkar say I'm not gonna move, so he come out from company, he come out from lessons, and then I'm gonna DPS for this lessons order. So before
he's still on the license though, isn't he? He's still on the license, Mr. Kakkar.
No, he's not.
No, he's no longer.
He's not. No. Okay.
Well, he is. Sorry. Sorry, Bob. Keep going.
Yeah, I'll just say the license I got, which I thought was the last one, shows him as the DPS.
From July, like he said, working from July. I don't know why he said, but from us, we start work from 8th of January.
Okay.
We have to find that one.
But, okay, so you'll only agree that he was telling the truth up until page 3, and then on page 3, he just makes up a load of old, baloney, rubbish, or whatever you want to call it, because he states that he's working 5, 6, 7 hours a day. He's doing well over 20 hours a week.
We normally give 4 to 4 hours for that one, and sometimes we give 5 hours. Then if we coming weekly 5 day or 4 day like that, we cover like that. We give normally 20 hours for them.
Okay. Sorry. So from I think you're trying to say, Mr. Kakkar. Who was Mr. Kakkar then?
Arpit Kakkar, actually, he's my cousin. And when I take over from shop from Mr. Baba, the previous owner, so Mr. Baba and he take over both are coming, like you can say, management. I give it to him management because me and my wife manage another shop. So he said, you manage this shop, you can do. So he managing for me, take wages and that one. Yeah. Okay. So then I told him, like you can say, we can say manage, take wages. He said, no, if you do partnership with me, then we can do. I said, okay, you work that one. If we agree that one, if you find, then we can do partnership. So he working, and he's a hard worker as well. He working that one. And at the end of the day, he said, no, I'm not doing. If you not, I said, I reject. I said, no, we're not gonna partner because me and my wife manage that one because we put extra top and harm as well.
But
then he resigned.
You officially, I'll say that the license was granted to you, your company, and your wife are the sole, are the joint directors of that company, the Green Limited. You took over that licensing and was responsible for it.
Yes.
In February 2023. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Right. So Mr. Kakkar wasn't responsible, was he?
DPS.
So he was appointed a DPS.
Yes, day-to-day running, but he ultimately, you are the premises license holder, aren't you?
Could I just enter for 1 second? I think Mr. Kakkar was a director of the Green, wasn't he? He was a director, wasn't he?
Yes.
Before.
When did he resign as a director?
He 2023, maybe July or September, maybe between July to October, he resigned. He resigned from there, and we can change the DPS as well.
Okay. Just for the, sorry, Chair, I did send over a photograph of RD1 to Sean. I don't know if he's managed to get it out, but it just shows a bottle where the label's been ripped off. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt. I've just sent it to Mr. Panchal. It's up to him if he would
no
like
problems.
this evidence shared so last minute. I sent it to your shared mailbox.
Okay. Are we, Alison? Can I just ask your opinion? Is that okay for us to actually view that? So
yeah. If Mr. Panchal will need to, and his client will need to okay that because it's been submitted on the day of the of the hearing. So I know it was meant to be in the pack, but he won't have had a chance to see it and verify that it's correct. So if when you get a chance, Mr. Panchal, you can check that, and then that can be circulated to the panel if you're okay with it to be so. Thanks.
We are, sorry, Chair, we are okay with that.
You're okay with that, yeah?
Yeah, we are not
Okay.
disputing because we're not
Okay.
saying we're disputing anything.
Right.
Maybe the picture was missed. We agree with what Bob Deere is saying. We're not arguing with what Bob Deere is
Right,
saying.
but we'd like to see the picture of the bottle. It's very helpful for us to see what that is. So I think if you, Sean, if you could circulate that to all of our emails now, that would be very helpful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Terry. Yeah, Terry, please go ahead. Yeah.
Chair, just for
Sorry,
my
I'll
clarification.
just stop you 1 second. I think Bob's got another question. Let's.
Yeah, I have, Chair. Sorry, but if
Just
it's literally
hold fire there for 1 second. Yeah.
obviously we're talking about premises that have been taken over in February 2023, and alcohol that was the stock allegedly that was taken over there hasn't been checked for 11 months. Is that correct, Mr. Is that what you're saying? You're asking the committee to believe?
We don't have idea for that one before, but when the officer come, then he said, look, this is M&M. We don't have idea like he take the stolen or that thing. When he give us, we just clean the shelf, we can put it down. We didn't check the behind. Is the M&S or we put the label already on there, like how much selling the price. Alcohol, you can see in the off lesson, someone call if you bring now 10 years, leave there. Is all alcohol is put going.
Okay. On that point, how did you price it up then if you didn't know it was M&S Prosecco or any Prosecco?
When we be coming, which Prosecco we bring it, like you can say our cost including VAT, £7 coming, we can put the price £8.99 or sometimes £10. So in Southall area, there's all Asian people, of course, wine people and Prosecco people, we don't have that one. Not much. We have some customer. We not say because there's all Asian people, they like whiskey, vodka, brandy, beer. So we don't have much customer for that one. So of course, which things coming, they are already priced $8.99 or $9, whatever price there. If some customer coming, take it, so we give it to him and we sell it.
Okay.
And which one I'm take it from cash and carry, so I know it's £7 coming, we can put the £9 or £10, we can put there like our percentage, which of 18.
Yeah, correct. That's business. Yeah. Also, so you're also saying that me and the other officers missed that bottle of red wine when we came in the shop a month earlier. When we checked all the bottles.
Yes, you must have missed it. That's what he's saying, because he didn't sell it. You have to believe it. If it was there, he didn't buy one bottle of red wine from.
Why not? Why not, Mr. Panchal? People buy one packet of cigarettes.
He doesn't want to because he's been selling at Harman's Water Village, and he's never done that there, and so he doesn't want to do it here. He's got a lot of evidence where he's seen that because he's not doing it, the people are stealing from him. So he sent those videos to the police. So again, that's what his argument is.
So his argument is he's not selling, or he's not buying. So his argument isn't that the property wasn't in the shop, it was stolen property, but it's been there 11 and 12 months. That's what he's saying. That's his argument.
Yeah, it didn't sell, so it might be there.
Still, there are a lot of stock, which when we take from Mr. Bubba, the previous one, like you can say whiskey, brandy, we have all proof, we have all list, that one is still in there. Like, and not everything gonna sell.
I've got a couple more questions. Sorry to drag on.
Please go ahead. No, please go ahead.
One main reason why we not that one, first I'm not doing this, the month when I'm not normally there, my staff there, so I'm already clear to my staff, nothing buying, nothing doing like that. And I have proved that when 4 people try to come in, I have video all CID, 4 the stolen people, they have the bag as well. I'm always if you go in my shop outside, my staff, I put extra staff sitting outside. If you see any this Punjabi people, like we know all the guy, because they try to come when we not buy, they try to take our bottle. I have video that one. 4 people he coming and he pushed the door, he smashed the door. We have window, he smashed it. We have video that one. We have police report that one as well. And one day police came and arrested him as well, the guy in the bookie. But they released that guy because my staff say, I recognize him, but I can't give it. Police say you have to come court or police station, give to statement. And he refused to give a statement because he said, I don't want to go troubling anything because the people roll every day around there. And when I'm going from shop and harm something to me. So that's why he refused to give a statement to police. So, but I
Okay.
have proof that one.
Okay, no problems.
Okay.
So I've pointed out the fact that the person arrested or detained by immigration changed his story, basically gave all his answers. He signed the piece, he signed the report as well to say it was true. He changed to say he was doing more than 4 hours a week. He was doing 5, 6, 7 hours a day. But you dispute that, but even though the statement is in front of you. You also mentioned your beer, when you buy stock, and being a businessman for over 12 years, I'm quite surprised you do this, but you buy stock from a cash and carry, and you get all the nice new bottles out of the box, and you put them on the front of the shelf. Do you not? Because you say there's no sell-by date. On beer there is. It lasts 1 year. So hopefully you're not doing that to your beer, because what you're saying is there could be more stolen property at the back of the shelves. Then, are you?
We can check everything when you.
Well, you should have checked already, shouldn't you? You should have checked. And I'm surprised you didn't check. Hang on. I'm surprised you didn't check. When we came in the first occasion and found 3 bottles, you didn't say to your staff, right, every bottle comes off the shelf, I want it all cleared. But you didn't, did you? Because I came in and found another bottle that wasn't there on the first occasion. Otherwise, I would have took that as well.
The first occasion, which one you guys take it 3 or 4 bottles,
Yeah,
whatever. After that, before we don't know this is stolen stuff or not. When you guys explain us, then we especially I give structure to my worker, check everything. If you find anything like that, M&S, Lidl, Tesco, you can remove from there. Give it to me. I'm going drinking.
Okay, I've got no more further questions this time, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you've the photograph has been circulated now of the bottle.
What one has, Chair? Yes,
it's a bottle of red wine there.
It is. Also, why? Sorry, I'm still speaking. Sorry, that I might as well just put this point in.
Yeah, please.
I have an update from the immigration about the status of this gentleman because it was mentioned that he was allowed to work again. He's not. Okay. He's not allowed to work. He's got no right to work in this country. He's on bail, and that's the situation.
We know this.
Yeah.
Right. So he's not allowed to work, and Mr. Chopper is saying that he wasn't taken on after his arrest.
No, he wasn't.
But he was paid in arrears. Well,
yeah, that's
okay. That bottle of red wine has been circulated. Can you see that, Mr. Panchal? Have you got that on your computer?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Is that the bottle that was found on the second occasion? Is that the one?
I haven't put the picture out, but I'm just agreeing to what Bob's.
Well, could you have a look at? If you could look at it and say, I mean, it could be any bottle, but if
that is the bottle, Chair. It's just showing basically that the security tag has been ripped off and obviously placed on the shelf.
Right. Okay. Right. Thank you very much. Tarek, you got a question?
So a couple of clarification already been addressed, but one thing you said, Mr. and Mrs. Chopra running that shop from 2014 till now and never had any involvement in any stolen good. Is that right?
That's
correct.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I've got a question, please, about Mr. Kakar. He resigned as the director of the company, but he stayed on as DPS. Is that correct?
DPS after I think so. He told me remove that one, and 1 month I think so I didn't done, and then I called Mr. Mandeep Panchal office, and he removed from me that one. After 1 month, after 2 months, I'm already giving instruction for that one.
So who's the current DPS then?
Me.
You, but you're not down as a DPS on the license, are you?
It is. So he's already, the application has gone through, and it has. I think maybe the council hasn't sent the license copy, but the license has been the DPS already been changed.
already have in shop as well. We can already on
the shop.
display, yeah. And when we
Yeah, they've received a copy of
We
the
received-
license also, which says him as
we
a
display on
Right,
the
so you're
window.
the current DPS. Okay. Can I ask you another question? This come earlier. What was the reasons for not displaying Part B of the license in the shop as you're supposed to?
Who?
It's displayed.
Mr. Kakar.
Why was it not displayed? I mean, this was mentioned on a couple of occasions that Part B of
No,
the
we already
license.
display.
There's always a display.
It's already in the window.
Well, that's what I've read. I mean, I've read it on a couple of occasions that you were warned twice, in fact, in January and in February, that you should be displaying Part B as well as Part A of the license.
On the January.
It's only the summary of the license to be displayed.
Is that correct, Bob?
That is correct, Chair, and it was on no display
No, we
when
apply.
Mrs.
And
Chopra,
I'm asking Bob Deere now at the moment. Thank you very much.
obviously the first time it was pointed out, and
Yeah.
obviously he should be aware that Part B should be on display, and I went back the second time and it was not on display again.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's
Is
correct.
that correct?
Yeah, that's correct because when you Mr. Kakar, he resigned that one. I called the Mr. Panchal office and I said, this is that one we can, I'm gonna DPS, and he applied. That take nearly 2 months. You can see if you, when we receive that one straight away, we can display that one.
When did you take on the DPS role?
I said it, I didn't remember, but November to October. After that, I can check on my mobile because I didn't remember that date. Because already officer came and he said, you all remove this Mr. Kakar one because he resigned to DPS. And he double checked with Mr. Afinso Panchala that day, Mr. Mandeep, like you guys already applied for DPS. He said, yeah, we already applied for that one. And we removed from the Mr. Kakar one and we waiting for coming our one and we display that one. When we receive, we straight away display that one.
Right. Okay. Thanks. I've got no more questions for now. Colleagues, have you got any questions? No. Alison, you got any questions before we go to the summing up?
No, thank you, Chair.
So I've got one question from Bob. Yeah.
Sorry, Chair. One thing I'd like to ask Mr. Well, Eva really would like to explain on the license where obviously it's obviously been transferred, or sorry, varied after this application was put together, and that's why I've got the other license then. But on that license, and all conditions would have been transferred. Condition 22 of that license says basically within 3 months of the license being issued in February 2023, a lease agreement would be sent to the council.
Yes.
One has never been received.
The
Just
lease.
wondering why.
The Mr. Bubba, still we have all documentation. Mr. Bubba still didn't give me the lease. Still the processing on that one. He have some debt of the landlord. Mr. Bubba have debt to landlord. Landlord say clear this debt and I transfer to lease Mr. Sandeep Chopra. But I have the consent paper, which one I'm already sent to council.
A consent letter has already been sent to the council.
Yeah, but that's not a lease agreement. So you're in breach of 22. And you just mentioned earlier, sorry, you mentioned earlier that you're all compliant, though there's a condition there that you've been breaching since February 23.
I think.
And you also breached twice the fact you had no 57 on
because he
display.
didn't give me the lease. Still, I'm waiting. The lease process, we already submit the fees to solicitor last year. Last maybe nearly more than a year. We already submit the fees for our solicitor. We have 3 solicitors. One of the Mr. Bubba, one of the landlord, and I have the landlord email as well. Landlord say we have arrow with Mr. Bubba 18,000. So when he clear that one, I can happy to transfer the lease on your name. Landlord.
Right. Okay. But you've never told to cancel this because you probably is it another condition that Mr. Bubba should have no involvement in this business? Well, he has got involvement. He's the leaseholder. You're not the leaseholder.
Is we take already consent paper because he take from.
Yeah, but you're not the leaseholder, are you?
No, still I'm
Mr.
not.
Bubba is.
Is our progress on the work in progress. He clear. I have all confirmation from Mr.
I appreciate
Landlord.
that, but you've taken a business on where you are not the leaseholder.
Yeah.
The landlord,
basically,
the landlord,
you are breaching a condition
Sorry,
that Mr. Bubba shouldn't have any involvement in the business
He not
when he
involved.
has.
Because we take the consent paper from them. He not involved.
He's not involved.
That's not
I'm
proof in
sorry to
law.
say this,
You are still, you
Chair.
are not the leaseholder.
Well, okay,
No,
right.
no.
So
Anyway,
well,
I'll leave it there, Chair. Thank you.
yeah, no, that's fine. So just so we understand, the question has been asked about the lease. You're answering that the lease is under preparation. Is being redrafted, and that's taking longer. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
That's what we are saying.
If you
Right.
read-
Okay, thank you very much. And Bob, you got another question? I think you had another question before that. You sure?
I have proof of that.
You're on mute right now, Bob.
Sorry, I've no other questions, Chair. I'll just
Okay,
sum up in a minute. Thank you.
If you do, let me know, okay? Because yep. Right. More, do you want to answer that? You want to say anything more about that, Mr. Chopra?
No,
Yes, sir. I'd like to put this in perspective that the lease consent has already been received by Mr. Chopra. So he is, in other words, he is now the occupant of the premises by the freeholder. The matter of resolving the matter between the lawyers and that is for the freeholder to resolve the matter with the past leaseholder. So Mr. Past leaseholder has nothing to do with the business, has nothing to do with what Mr. Sandeep Chopra is doing. Mr. Sandeep Chopra is paying the rent of the premises to the freeholder.
Yes.
He is still paying the rent to the freeholder. He's not paying rent to the previous owners.
and
Just to make it absolutely clear.
And I have the confirmation from landlord. He said, Mr. Chopra, we are happy to, he sent to my solicitor, we happy to transfer lease to your name, but we waiting for Mr. Bubba to clear our debt. It maybe nearly he clear, because every couple of weeks I chase him, and he said I can clear soon and possible, and the lease coming on. It's just all in processing.
Has the new license been granted?
Sorry, you got a question there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you give a copy? Sorry, the chairman, the other thing is we have a copy of the new license issued with Mr. Chopra as a new DPS.
Well, if you can hold that up, then we'd be happy to.
Yeah,
see that.
I've just asked my colleague to bring it down.
All right, so you print that out, hold it up. We'd like to see that. Thank you very much. Yeah. Colleagues, but just do you want to ask any more questions now? What's just been new items have got there, but I think we've heard quite extensively about the lease and
Yes,
about
Chair.
the
No
license
other
now.
questions. Thank you.
No other questions. So, are you happy, Mr. Panchal? I think what we'll do is while we're waiting for that printout,
Thought that his staff.
Bob, I'm gonna have to ask you to stop for a second, as the streaming has been turned off, but it's back on again now. We're back on stream, so please go ahead. Keep going. Thank you. Yeah.
I saw that come up, Chair. I wonder what it was.
That's fine. So on you go. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I thought it was my computer.
No. Okay. We have to have it online.
We've heard his staff should have been instructed, maybe even closed for a day, to go through his alcohol. It's not an extensive shop. It's of alcohol, of wine and spirits. And I say it was really wine, which is quite a small display. Now, the second time we went there, one illegal worker, and he was illegal working in this country, because if he doesn't go to a thing, his right is removed if he doesn't go to college. He answered the questions as if to say, "Oh, I've only been here a few weeks." And as you say, I'm sure you've all read the statement. Page 3. All of a sudden, as I said earlier, I think he knows the game is up, and he starts, as I like to say, perhaps telling the truth, that he's been working there or for the company. This Harmondsworth I've never heard of. It's not on our borough. He mentions he's been working there since July of 23, 5, 6, 7 hours a day, more than 20 hours a week. So, and he says he's been paid in cash about £5 an hour. I'll leave the decision who you believe up to him, who's been receiving the money. He gets £350 a week rent. He even says that he has to pay a month. So unfortunately, we've had nothing produced apart from 3 wage slips across the board, but not the time he'd been working from. The stock, well, that bottle of wine was stolen. It wasn't there on the first, allegedly on the first occasion. Well, if it was there, I would have seized it. You know, as I said, it's not a vast display. I've already mentioned the advantages of employing illegal workers and selling stolen property from shops, and the harm and the problems it causes in the area. It is a special priority area, and there's no indication it will be removed because of the problems police have down there. I feel sorry for Tesco's around the corner because they lose 30 odd thousand pounds, £40,000 a month in stolen goods from that shop alone. That's just alcohol.
We are losing.
Sorry, thank you very much. We're summing up.
Yeah.
You have a chance to come in a minute.
Well, hopefully you're not losing 30 or 40,000 pound a month, Mr. Chopra. But my decision, my recommendation it still stands. It should be revoked, this license. It's changed hands. There is non-compliance there. Yes, technical in things, but for a lease to be dragged on 19 months is totally unacceptable, and it's a breach of conditions. So I'll leave it to you, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob. Thank you. And now I'm going to ask Mr. Panchal and his client to sum up now, please, as well.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, one thing that we would like to dispute, and we would be very much so going forward also to dispute this, the person was not illegal in the country. The person was legal. The BRP card clearly states he had a legal status to work in this country. Number one. Number two, I'd like to stress again and again, a matter for a student to go to the college and not go to the college is his matter, not the matter for the employer, because the employer's matter is to look at the BRP card, and if the BRP card states that he is legal to work, if the immigration people come up and if they find out that the person is not going to the college. And
so I'm going to have to ask you to stop, Mr. Penshall. We need one of our colleagues has just got to come back, just popped out. Yeah. Now carry on, please. That's fine. Keep going, please. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So if the immigration or the immigration people inform the employer that the person is not going to the college, then it is the employer's then the duty to say to the worker that, sorry, we are not going to carry on with you because you are now illegal, not going to the college or that. But initially, it is a matter. A BRP card is given to a person, and that BRP card clearly states. I have got a copy of the BRP card in my phone, and when we apply, there's something else that we would like to inform to you, that when we apply for a personal license for any student who comes in the country and found legal, the council asks us that do you have a copy of the BRP, and we send the BRP, and then we need to register the person through the immigration to get his number, which says that this is the number that we raise out and give it to the council before the council can even issue the personal license. So the personal license is only issued to people who are legally allowed to work in this country. So if you were not legal in the country, you would also not be issued with a personal license. So this person was absolutely legal in the country working in there. If he was illegal, Mr. Sandeep Chopra would have got a fine of 50,000, but now the fine is 45,000 pounds. And the legal department, Ellison will mention to you that there would be a fine immediately sent to Mr. Chopra for employing an illegal person. And he isn't illegal. So I would just like to clear that very, very clearly. So, and Mr. Chopra has not, a person when he buys a stolen goods, we understand previously when the previous owner, because I did the hearing of the previous owner, and there was plenty of stuff found in the store and also in the shelves which were stolen goods. Mr. Chopra does not get involved into it, and that is one of the reasons Mr. Chopra has been suffering, because those people who are selling illegal goods are now stealing from Mr. Chopra. And Mr. Chopra has got all those videos sent to the police and has got the CAD numbers and everything regarding that. So he's been harassed at the moment. Now, coming back to the license, Chairman, there is a new license issued by the council, which has got Sandeep Chopra as the DPS.
Right, can you hold it closer, please?
And clearly, Sandeep Chopra it's mentioned as a DPS. This license has been issued by the London Borough PD. Sorry, are you happy with that now?
Well,
sorry, Chair. What is the date now? What is the date on that license, Chair? Sorry.
The license issued on 5th March 2024.
Well, we're not going to have that. That is too unclear, Mr. Panchal. So we can't accept that like that. I mean, I can't read it. Can we check that, Alison?
Is there a way of scanning that and emailing it to Sean, Mr. Panchal, so it can be shared with the panel? That might be helpful. I don't think we can really see it otherwise.
I'll ask Manpreet just now to email it to Sean. You ask Manpreet to email this to Sean.
Okay.
Because we put an email. Normally, the license copies are sent to us via email by the E-Link Council. So we have a copy. We can forward that copy to Sean. So we're going to do that. I've asked Mr. Chopra to go there. So, Chairman, we feel that even the pay slips are done. Mr. Sandeep Chopra has always worked in complying with matters. We can understand the problematic instance when this shop has been taken over, and there are a few bits and pieces that are being cleared up and made into a straightforward thing. We are not seeing you, or I haven't seen Mr. Deere come out and say we found 5 bottles or 6 bottles or 10 bottles, stolen bottles into the premises that we did before when we initially had this shop and when the shop was initially selling and buying stolen goods. So we don't have that in the shop. Everything is legal in the shop, apart from send it to Sean. Sean, fine. Yeah, I've asked Manpreet to send it to Sean.
Thank you.
Yeah, forward a copy to Sean, but it is an issue from the council. So, Chairman, I don't think revocation is the answer to when you're making your decision. I would feel that yes, a breach was it was Mr. Chopra's. Maybe we could say mistake not to see the stock and remove that 1 bottle out, or those 3 bottles out. So a punishment of a short, my view, I'm not saying it is Mr. Chopra's view, but my view, looking at this matter, would be a short suspension, or we can't have a fine. We're not here to have a fine of Mr. Chopra, but that would be the way forward. But there is a training going on. There is a training manuals, and every training is Mr. Chopra has carried out with us in his other shop and also in this new shop when we applied for the license. So he is making every effort to make sure 4 licensing objectives are robustly promoted.
We received the 5th of March. That's why 2 visitors are coming. There's a no display.
Yeah.
Mr. Panchal, point of interest. When we were discussing the illegality or not of the worker, suddenly you were implying that he had a license, but Rajveer Singh never had a license, did he? He never held any license. No,
he did have a personal license, but he had a legal.
But you see, you said if he wasn't legal, he wouldn't have received a personal license. But he never had a personal license, did he? I mean,
because Mr. Sandeep Chopra didn't apply for his personal license. He didn't apply. But I'm saying the legal way of getting a personal license. That is the procedure I was asking. Telling. There's a procedure for any student to apply for a personal license.
Yes, but I mean, so the personal license has nothing to do with Mr. Rajveer Singh. They're different issues.
Yeah, there is a different issue, but I'm
different saying, issues. Yes, I mean, Rajveer Singh was the contention was that Rajveer Singh was an illegal worker, was working illegally, but it was never no question that he ever asked for a personal license. I mean, let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Right. But what I'm saying is he wasn't. I keep on mentioning to you, he was not illegal. He was a legal person working in the country.
And we've heard your statement on that. Thank you very much. That's great. Thank you very much. Alison, would you like to come in?
Thank you, Chair. Just on the immigration status, it's a 2-part process, isn't it, Mr. Panchal, to prove that you can work, because you get the card and then you apply for a share code. With that card. Now, did Mr. Singh apply for that share code, and did he give that to Mr. Chopra?
But we never applied for his personal license.
No, I'm not.
sorry,
It has
talking about
nothing to do with
You are
personal
talking about share
license.
code.
No, no.
Um,
In order to
so the
prove
share code,
his, in
Right,
order
sorry,
to
I'm
prove
just going to
his,
get in again. Could we just listen to Alison, please, and answer Alison when she's made what she
Yeah.
said, what she said. Thank you very much.
thank you, Chair. In order to
Thank you.
prove his eligibility to work, he needs to, obviously, yes, he had the card. No one's disputing that, but he then has to apply for a share code, which will establish the number of hours he can work and what his work status is. Now, did he apply for a share code? And did he share that with Mr. Chopra?
This is the first step. When we bring we take from our staff national insurance number, BRP card and passport. When we go as accountant, this is the first step, the check share code, that one, and the check is legal or not. So, our account.
Yes, the accountant.
So did he give you the share code?
Yeah, my accountant, of course.
Yes, the accountant got the share code.
Okay, because that's not what, because you seem to be saying something completely different. You didn't mention a share code previously. You just said it would be on the face of his card, his biometric card.
Yeah, but
and you haven't mentioned a share code. But you're saying just to make sure it's crystal clear, because it's obviously this is quite a crucial point for the panel. You're saying that he did apply for the share code. And Mr. Chopra had that share code.
Yeah.
He was told what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. But not the accountant, because because it had to be Mr. Chopra. He's responsible for employing him. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mr. Chopra's accountant, Mr. Chopra is saying he sent all the documents to the accountant, and the accountant applied and got the share code.
No, the accountant applied.
I can check. That's online share code. When we normally everything our accountant doing for us, like when anything documentation, we can go with accountant, and it would, when we provide document, they check the share code, and I can double check with my mobile as well. Maybe I have that one as well.
So,
right.
So he got it. Yeah. So you've got that number because you've got a number or a code.
I can check it down.
So and there's a way, if you're an employer, you can check the share code. And did you do that?
Yes, he is.
Did you check the share code?
Yeah, he is now getting the share code out of his mobile.
I check in my mobile. Maybe I have in mobile. Otherwise, I can take from my.
Okay, take your time. We'll wait until you find that.
Yeah. But my presentation, Chair, was to say that whenever we apply for a student's personal license, a share code is required, and that share code automatically coincides that the person is legal to work, and then his personal license.
That's not relevant in this instance, is it? Because he's not applying for a personal license.
Yeah, he didn't apply for but I'm saying the procedure for a student.
Yeah, but we need. There's lots of procedures, Mr. Panchal, but the procedure, what we're concerned with here is his permission to work, and the BRP, whether that was used to generate by his employer, Mr. Chopra, whether that was used to generate a code.
Good, that's correct.
But what you said, Mr. Panchal, what you said was it clearly said on the front of the BRP card that he has the right to work. Is that correct?
That's correct, and it is. I've got a BRP here which says leave to remain, work permitted.
Well, can you take a photograph of that and scan it, because this is absolutely crucial. The subcommittee will need to see it.
No, share code में
नहीं share code तो मैं ढूंढ रहा हूँ, उसमें मुश्किल ये वो accountant के पास ही होगा, क्योंकि accountant नहीं करता ये सब कुछ.
So we'd like to see that, Mr. Panchal. If you could send that card, forward that as well to Sean, with your permission.
I'm just saying it's Sean. And he said the share code, he couldn't find the share code on his mobile, but he's going to ring the accountant to send him the share code.
Okay, but we'd like to see that BRP card as well. I mean, the work permitted. I'm not sure that necessarily work permitted means you can work in a particular premises. It's a climate of work permission, but I'd like to see it anyway.
Yeah, it will say the number of hours, because obviously that will be to do with the fact that he was a student. Okay. Thank you. Sorry to have
thank you very much.
Interrupted for so long.
That's all right. Thank you very much. Alison, that's very helpful. Tarek, you had a question. We will, of course, we've had more questions now, but we will allow Mr. Panchal to re-sum up when we've all finished asking questions, because he must have the last say. But Terry, you go ahead, please.
Yeah, but if it is not sum up, I just wanted to one more time
Go
clarify.
ahead, please. No, that's fine.
Clarify with Mr. Chairman. So what you are saying is that person was not legal when he was working with you, and Robert Dare was missed that bottle on his previous visit, and it was stolen or not stolen. Regardless of that, it was there, and yes, and that was missed from the previous visit, and it was like there.
उसके उसने मुझे प्रोवाइड किया था, ये है ये जिसमें ये लिखा हुआ है इंश्योरेंस नंबर जिसने प्रोवाइड किया था मुझे वर्क तक का, ये मुझे मिला जो मैंने अपने अकाउंटेंट को दिया था.
Yeah, if you ask, yeah,
your insurance number is national insurance number.
Yeah,
that
there is your application reference and the insurance number and everything, which was sent to clarify that he was legal to work. I'm going to ask if you can give it to Manpreet to send it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just have to wait for that to materialize.
Anyway, that's sorry, Chair, that's going to take time, because he's going to send it to Manpreet, and Manpreet's going to scan it and send it to Sean. That was my presentation. In my presentation, I was just saying that the person there was not illegal, it was legal. Yes, we are going to stretch around and get the documents in, which will prove we are as I say, we are adamant to be very adamant to say that we employed somebody who was legal. If he was illegal, he could have got a fine straight away from immigration, which would be, nowadays the fine is 45,000, which was 15,000 before, is increased to 45,000.
Yeah.
So he's legal.
Okay, so we've heard your answer on that. What I think what we'll do is we would like to see it, but we can view it when we view it, and in our deliberations, that's fine. But I think if we're going to proceed to summing up, which we should do now, I think we'd like to have your client with you, Mr. Panchal, if that's all right. Is he busy now, or can he come back?
Yeah, he's gone to he's in with my colleague here to give those documents to. But I've summed up, and he's heard the summing up that I've done. More to sum up onto that.
All right, so you're okay with that, and we can take, you're representing him, so we can take that as the summing up is finished. You said what you've said. No? All right, right. So are there any more questions? I mean, I think we've heard Mr. Panchal's answer to you, Tariq, to that about the bottle, but you're welcome to come in again if you want. No?
Yeah, Chair, I just wanted to conclude that and asking, so the person was employed by that license holder was legal, and when Mr. Dare was there, and him in previous visit, he missed that bottle, and that was from the previous stock when he found later. Is that right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay.
Right. All right. So now what we've got to do is we've got to ask Bob if he wants to say anything else by way of summing up. Bob, do you want to say anything else?
Sorry, Chair. Our summing up is after Bob's summing up. So
yes, you'll come back, Mr. Panchal. Don't worry, you'll come back. But Bob has heard something else now, and he must have a chance to say something. Do you want to say anything, Bob? Or
the only thing is, Chair, Mr. Singh may have been legal when he entered the country and allowed to work 20 hours. But as soon as that course finished, he was no longer a student and allowed to work. And he was working in that shop, and he said he was working more than 20 hours anyway, which means he's illegally working in this country.
Okay, thank you very much. And Mr. Panchal, of course, you must have the last say. You must have the last word if you want it.
Thank you very much, Chair. I will again dispute, and I will again stand up in any court if you want me to be honest, that the employer's duty is to make sure the documents that the person brings in and entitles him to work Whether he goes to the college or not, that is another matter for the immigration or the college to inform, or the person be disqualified, and then it is up to the employer to release him off and say he's not legal. But all legal rights were there when this person was working at the premises. All legal rights were checked, and it is the employer's duty to make sure all those documents are in place. If the person is working illegal and not attending the college, which disqualifies him to become legal, which if it was noticed or come back to Mr. Chopra was informed when Bob's visit was there and the interview or whatever taken that he wasn't attending the college, Mr. Chopra immediately dismissed him, did not employ him further, and is not employing him even presently. So he has made sure that he's not breaching any of the conditions, or he's not employing anybody who is illegal.
Okay. Right, thank you very much. Well, and my duty just to say that you've offered, just to record that you've said that you would accept a suspension rather than the revocation of the license. You've mentioned that. Is that correct?
That's correct, Chairman, because
Yes, okay.
a small mistake that has occurred or unforeseen circumstances. This is under revocation, because
Okay.
if Mr. Sandeep Chopra, my view is, if Mr. Sandeep Chopra was breaching or had 30 bottles or 40 bottles around lying in the store anywhere and has been carrying on doing that, then I would raise my hands up and say, look, yes, we are sorry for what we've done. But here, Mr. Chopra is taking all the care to make sure nothing happens, or he's not doing that, or his intentions are not there. Clearly it states his intentions are not there. And that is why he's suffering when other people are coming to him and trying to snatch away from him. And he has produced that to the police, and he's got all the CAD numbers and everything of the police, whereby he can prove that, look, I've gone to the police to say, now I'm being stolen, rather than me buying the stolen goods. People are stealing from me.
Okay, thank you very much. So if Alison, you're happy, we're going to retire now to deliberate. And I think Alison's okay with that.
Yes, thank you, Chair.
We'll now go offline, and we will now deliberate, and we should have a decision for you. We're going to aim for what is it now? 3:30. We'll aim for 4:15, please, for a decision. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Chair.
Come again. Yes.
I just received the additional documentation.
Thank you very much. You can send that to us. Are you happy? Obviously it's been sent by Mr. Panchal, so if you're happy for us to have that, then we can use that in our deliberations. Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, and see you at 4:15.